Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. In order to force myself to learn English, I'm trying to talk about the future immigration policy trends in English. My prediction might differ from what I've emphasized before and from what most people think. Because the latest news suggests that the Conservative Party is taking the office seems inevitable. Just on June 24th in the Toronto St. Paul's by-election, the Conservative Party overturned a Liberal stronghold of 30 years. This event might lead to Trudeau stepping down early, meaning that the Liberal Party might have a new candidate for the 2025 election. The Conservative Party leader, Pierre, is young, charismatic, clear-minded, and confident. On the other hand, the U.S. recent election debate was like watching a rookie fight. One is stubborn and the other one seems old. Pierre reminds people of Kennedy, Clinton, and Obama. A common misconception is that the Canadian Conservative Party, if placed in the US, would be considered left-wing, possibly more left than the US Democratic Party. So to understand future immigration policies, we need to know the Conservative Party's stance and its leader, Pierre. Yes, I'm already a fan of Pierre. He has a personal YouTube channel and he updates it frequently. If you are interested, check it out. One of his popular videos is an interview in BC, where he effortlessly turns the table on an unprepared reporter who tried to stump him. On the topic, I mean, in terms of your sort of strategy currently, you're obviously taking the populist pathway.
What does that mean?
Well, appealing to people's more emotional levels, I would guess. I mean, certainly you tap very strong ideological language quite frequently.
Like what?
Left wing, this and that, right wing. I mean, it's that type of ideological spectrum.
I never really talk about left or right.
Anyways, I don't
really believe in that.
Okay. A lot of people would say that you're simply taking a page out of the Donald Trump book.
Like which people would say that?
Well, I'm sure a great many Canadians, but...
Like who?
I don't know who, but...
Well, you're the one who asked the question, so
yeah.
You must know somebody.
Okay. I'm sure there's some out there, but anyways, the point of this question is, I mean, why should Canadians trust you with their vote, given, not just the sort of ideological inclination in terms of taking the page out of Donald Trump's book, but
what are you
also
talking about? What page? What page? Can you give me a page? Give me the page. You keep saying
in terms of turning things quite dramatically in terms of Trudeau and the left wing and all of this. I mean, you make quite a it's quite a play that you make on it. So I'm
not
just
sure.
wondering.
I don't know what your question is.
Then forget that. Why should Canadians trust you with their vote? The funniest part was when he said, forget about it. What I want to say is that Pierre is clear-minded. He knows what he wants to do and plans for potential issues. Political battles are complex. As a prime minister, many will try to use you or set traps. Not everyone who shares your views will support you like a brother. So it's crucial to have a comprehensive understanding, and Pierre seems to have that. In contrast, in 2019, Trudeau naively supported Indian recruitment agencies, claiming that immigration is beneficial and Canada should absorb more immigrants. Did CEO of those agencies think the same as him? It led to a massive influx of Indian students, causing heavy consequences for his political career, Indian students, and the Canadian societies. So a prime minister faces threats not just from opposition parties, but also from within their own party and society, with many looking to take advantage of their powers. Now let's talk about the Conservative Party's stance on immigration. First, they prefer economic immigrants, high-end professionals and talents, mainly through provincial nomination and EE system. And second, they advocate for fairness and transparency. Unlike the Liberal Party's focus on equality, the Conservative Party emphasizes on fairness. They aim to attract immigrants through a unified and effective system, like canceling many special pathways such as the popular EE French stream and certain skilled trade pathways, reverting to the previous EE-CEC and the general scoring system. And the third, on immigration quotas, Pierre suggested that the future quotas might be tied to housing construction rates. And fourth, reduce temporary residence. And the last, advocate for orderly refugee acceptance, combat immigration fraud, support family reunification, increase system efficiency, and reduce backlog. Now let's summarize and explain why a unified scoring system might be favored over numerous special pathways. First, special pathways and closed work permit, or let's say employer sponsorship, don't solve the issue of labor shortages. They often lead to cheating or policy loopholes, undermining the effectiveness and fairness of the immigration system and harming the industries themselves. For example, the Overseas Employer Sponsorship Program for caregivers has a waiting time of 3 years, which is impractical for urgent needs. Many qualified caregivers already in Canada are underemployed, while the sponsorship positions are sold for high prices. Similarly, many healthcare professionals can't practice in Canada due to credential issues, despite the country's need for them. Pierre has mentioned that while the Canada need for doctor, but there are 20,000 qualified doctors who can't work. Second, targeted invitation don't necessarily address labor shortages. For instance, BC's early childhood education sector sees international students struggling to find employer sponsorship due to the high cost of the sponsorship positions and the low wages in the sectors. Those who buy the positions often lack passion and may perform poorly. They tend to leave the sector once they obtain permanent residency. How would the Conservative Party address these issues? By improving efficiency of the immigration system, not only the immigration system, but also the overall government efficiency, which Pierre has discussed in his videos. Under the Liberal government, bureaucratic expansion has led to inefficiency. The solution is to limit personnel growth, cut unnecessary projects, simplifying immigration pathways, and use the existing scoring system to fairly and transparently attract immigrants, allowing the market to operate efficiently. Take the ECE sector as an example. Market solution is simple, just to increase wages. This can be done through higher government subsidies or by raising daycare fees to boost the teachers' salaries. Higher fees aligns with market principles, but shift the burden to the government or parents. Without raising taxes, the economic growth is the only way to increase revenue. Therefore, focusing on labor shortage actually is a false premise. If Canadian electricians earn more than their Australian counterparts or Canadian truck drivers and more than American ones, I don't think the sectors would face shortages, right? Thus, focusing on economic immigration to let immigrants utilize their skills is crucial. If doctors drive Ubers, it doesn't boost consumption, tax revenue, or economic growth. The existing unified scoring system like EE actually is highly efficient. If you study architecture and find online retail is more profitable and switch careers, you are maximizing your potential and addressing resource misallocation. The Conservative Party's emphasis on fairness, transparency, free market economics, and small government aligns with this approach. Therefore, unified scoring is likely to be a major policy push if they take the office, simplifying EE to a unified scoring system and moving away from special invitations for sectors and French speakers, and potentially reducing provincial specific pathways will align with their overall government philosophy. Okay, this is my bold prediction. If you like it, don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. If you are planning to study in Canada, I still recommend considering sectors with labor shortages, as finding a job remains a key factor regardless of policy changes. Okay, that's all. See you next time. Bye.